I have something I want to throw by you guys.
Okay.
So, I guess we should probably all move into podcasts now.
Fine.
So
Fine, Graham. Fine.
All right, so I read in the news. Well, I read it on Twitter, which is basically the same thing nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I saw that AMC Theaters is banning any Universal movie. Like, they're not showing them after the pandemic is done.
What?
Because because Universal allowed that Trolls World Tour movie to be put out early so people could watch it in their homes, right? Because nobody should be going to the movie
wanted
theater.
to watch Trolls World Tour?
Well, even that, but it's just like they were like, no, we're not going to show any of your movies anymore because you you wouldn't let us show Trolls World Tour in theaters.
AMC, that's stupid on AMC's part because one, the logic is stupid, but also Universal makes money-making movies.
Oh my god, yeah, they do. And they sponsor like so many movies. Like
I
don't think you realize how many movies that is.
I just did a quick Google search. So all the Despicable Me's, Jurassic Parks, Ted's, the entire Fast franchise.
I want a Dragon Chain body.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that it's like, bro, you're gonna be losing a lot of money if you don't let them come.
Right, it's kind of unreal. Yeah, so this is CNN saying that AMC bans Universal Films from its theater over Trolls World Tour spat. It's so unreal.
Boo freaking who.
But anyway, what's going on, Hot Boys and Gamer Girls? Welcome to episode, it was 4 of Hot Boys Anonymous. We're on 4. Yeah. That was the introduction, you guys, just so you are aware.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I was just like, let's do something different. Let's throw a current event at them and see.
Wait, you didn't get the CrossFit shit in there, did you?
No, I did not get the CrossFit shit in there. Just so you guys know, I would like to go on record to state that Adam loves CrossFit. He actually thinks that CrossFit coaches. He thinks CrossFit coaches are actually some of the most intelligent, intellectual beings there are.
I quit the podcast. Jesus Christ.
It's whatever.
It's whatever. We don't need him.
It's whatever.
All right, bye, dude. It's been nice knowing you. Stay healthy out there.
Peace. Bailing.
All right. Well, with that, I hope you have your beverages of choice ready, because let's fucking go, bros. Let's do it.
Yeah, crackle pop.
I'm drinking
Crispies.
A Castle Danger North Shore Lager tonight.
Oh, those are so good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of those.
Yeah.
I'm having some delicious dihydrogen monoxide.
Hey, I'm the chemist. You can't say that.
I'm a CrossFit coach. I know best.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Of course. Yeah, my Gary left a bunch of those brews here while he's out of town, and I was like,
his loss, dude.
Yeah,
his loss.
I hope you didn't want to drink any of this beer, because like
any of it at all, Gary.
It's gone, dude. It's fucking gone.
Fucking
but yeah, so welcome to episode 4. It is episode 4. I was a little bit confused when I saved the last episode, because I wrote episode 4, because like I have the MP4 file, and I put it in a folder that's the needs editing folder, and I wrote episode 4. And so on the Adobe file, it was like episode 4 needs editing, and I was like, I thought we only had 3 episodes.
Professional podcast, by the way.
We did have a 4th episode.
We did.
You just blacked out, and well, we've been meaning to tell you about what happened on that episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of a shit show, to be honest.
What did we talk about?
Well, you said some
meaning of life.
Something about dicks.
Okay, would you be a little bit more specific?
And how giant Adams is. You know?
That's incredible, dude.
Nailed it, dude.
Nailed it, dude.
Yeah, okay, that's worth a chuckle.
That was a good one. I have a different current event I want to throw at you guys, and this will be a great segue, I think, into what we're talking about for today's episode. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but Donkey put out his Final Fantasy VII remake review.
Ooh.
Oh, haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and so he put it out, and I think within like 4 hours of him putting his review out on YouTube, Donkey was trending on Twitter.
Oh,
With like 12.
that's a big deal.
Yeah, with like 12,000 people tweeting about Donkey. And
I'm afraid for him now. That's frightening. That's really scary.
so I haven't watched the review yet because I'm playing through the Final Fantasy VII remake right now, and Donkey's that like I really trust his opinions, and I'm like with 12,000 people tweeting about Donkey, most likely related to his video about the Final Fantasy VII remake, has got me feeling that he doesn't like it. And that's pissing a lot of people off. You know what I mean?
That's the only assumption I can glean from this. Yeah, that's. Ooh.
It's crazy. I just searched him, and the video has been out for 2 days, and it already has 2 million views.
Yeah, dude.
How many dislikes?
Yeah,
I didn't look, unfortunately. I failed you guys.
Pull it up. We got time. Pull it up.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Joe, the data master, CrossFit coach.
Data master and CrossFit coach.
I want to make it clear, I am not a CrossFit coach. I just do CrossFit.
No, Adam really wants to be, though.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, it strives. He's getting a college degree in CrossFit coach.
Yes, that's very much true.
Looking at here we go. So 2 million views.
Okay.
123,000 likes. Only 8,700 dislikes.
It's not too bad.
Okay.
That's kind of what I would expect for any good video on YouTube. It's still gonna have a number of dislikes.
Yeah, and I mean, like, a Donkey's fan, if you're a Donkey fan, it's like you know how he feels about those kinds of games. You know, Final Fantasy VII was in its core a turn-based JRPG, right? And he said in his video about video game reviewers that it's important to know what the reviewer responds to as a customer or as a consumer of the review. You know what I mean? So like he wanted to get that out there because he's like, I don't have any patience for this shit, you know? This is just not the kind of game that I respond to. And so it doesn't surprise me that much that Donkey didn't like it very much, just because he doesn't have a lot of patience for RPGs, you know? And
I mean, as a fan of RPGs myself, I mean, less and less as I get older and have less time to spend 14 hours a day playing Final Fantasy games.
Right.
Like when I watch a Dunk view about an RPG, most of the time I'm like, I know he doesn't like these. So like, and I think that's important to know about any reviewer.
Yeah, definitely.
But whatever the fuck he said in that review clearly managed to piss off some people.
Well, and
Piss off all the weebs.
Yeah, I mean, like arguably the Final Fantasy VII remake is one of the most hyped games of this year, and there's a lot of really big games coming out or have already come out this year. Excuse me. So there were probably people who were already putting it in their game of the year spots before it had even come out, just because they love Final Fantasy VII that much. And I've been having a lot of fun with the remake. Again, I'm not going to watch his review or really any review.
Yeah, he's not great about spoilers. So if you haven't, listeners at home, don't watch the video if you don't want spoilers.
Exactly. And it's just like Donkey is so firm in his ground, and it's a point where he makes some really good points, and just like his beliefs are so true to himself that sometimes they almost rub off on you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
His opinion is so convincing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I know that if I watch it, there's a chance that his opinion might tarnish my own personal view of the game. So I want to make sure that I play it all the way through before I develop an opinion. So far, I think I'm still really in the early stages. I'm probably about the 3 or 4 hour mark, and I gotta say, it's a gorgeous game. It looks super nice, and like considering like in the original Final Fantasy VII, fucking Cloud and Tifa looked like thumbs from the Spy Kids movies.
Yeah, dude.
So, and like now they look like real people. I was playing it with my girlfriend, and she was watching me play it. And I don't know if you guys have seen the character model for Tifa. I'll see if I can drop it in chat real quick.
This is where Graham's editing skills are going to come in. He's going to put it right on the screen.
I'll put it right on the screen. Yeah. Well, Grant, here's a clap. Put it there. Okay.
Got it.
That's when it will appear.
That's when it will appear.
Hopefully you're not lazy like you were in the other one and you didn't put Joe's
But that
logo
shit was
first.
funny though. That was funny.
It was.
Okay. So I'll copy this image and put it in the episode log chat. Macy was like, her body is so small, but her boobs are so big. And I was like,
yeah.
welcome to any
anime.
Yeah, welcome to any JRPG. Like, that's what every girl is gonna look like, unless they're
Also,
purposefully
all the
ugly.
Disney.
Whoops. Had to edit some stuff out. Okay, back to the episode. But Cartoon Network.
Fuck off with your Nickelodeon stuff. Cartoon Network master, right?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, if I'm gonna watch cartoons, it's
Dude,
no
Adult
choice.
Swim, that's where I got hooked on
Adult
Naruto.
Swim. That was. I loved watching Family Guy on Adult Swim. I think I started when I was like
Oh no, it was
10.
Cartoon Network, like at night or some shit with that
Oh,
weird
yeah.
robot dude.
Oh,
Yeah. Not Nick at Night. Nick at Night, it was
gosh.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or like Friends or some shit like that.
Also good. Oh god, Toonami. That's what it was.
Yes. Yeah. I remember Toonami. Yeah, definitely.
But okay, I rescind my previous statement because Nickelodeon, while Cartoon Network overall has better shows,
Yes.
Nickelodeon has the two winners of SpongeBob and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes, which is gonna be on Netflix soon. I don't know if you got in like
Which-
2 weeks. It's gonna be on Netflix.
Wait, hey, what are we talking about today? I forgot.
We're talking about. well, hold on, Adam. I wanna keep talking about this for a
Oh,
second.
okay.
It's his birthday.
Dude,
Let him do what he
it's
wants.
my birthday year, bro.
It was 12 days ago. Jesus. My
And-
half birthday was 2 weeks ago. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, because it was by my birthday, dude.
Oh yeah, of course.
If you check if you check episode log, you will see what the topic of the day is.
Thank you. Public
problem.
service announcement.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Oh, I deep throat my fucking mic quick.
Also, another PSA for you boys. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is free on the Epic Game Store right now. I think for like the next week.
What is?
Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Oh,
Go play
highly
it
recommend.
like
right the fuck now.
one of
Highly recommend.
Like,
Excellent
get off the
game.
podcast. Go play it.
don't do that.
Do that. It is more important. I promise.
Really good game, and I'm really excited to dig into it because I have both that and Soma now that I need
It
to
looks.
play.
Just looking at the Google images of it, looks freaky as all hell.
Yeah,
It's horrifying. It's
Yeah.
it's absolutely horrifying.
It
But
was
it's
like-
straight up one of the best games I've ever played in my life.
Wait, Soma, is that free as well?
it was. I don't know if it still is.
I have yet to beat Soma. We should have another episode about Soma though.
We should talk.
Hold on,
we should
I
talk
have never
about-
played it.
We should talk about Amnesia and Soma
It's
in the first
$30.
episode. Yeah, it might be cheaper
Fuck
on
it, I'll buy it.
Steam too. You should check Steam.
Steam's $30.
Maybe the Epic Game Store also has it. It might be on sale.
but I don't want to have a bunch of games in a bunch of different places.
I guess, but like, just put it on the same SSD, dude. It's gonna be fine.
I don't have an SSD.
You
Oh
don't?
my god, get out.
I have a hybrid hard drive. Get out of here. It's
Oh,
2
I thought you'd
terabytes.
be like, I have like a CD-ROM drive. So I have
a
to.
floppy
My
disk
OS
still.
is on a thumb drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I just stick my thumb in there and it just zaps the data onto my fingerprint, dude.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. That's one way to do it.
I'm just buying Soma right now. Like, I get paid tomorrow. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck it. Go for
No,
it. dude.
God, I need to save money for tattoo. God damn. Oh, well.
Just get a Soma tattoo. 2 birds, 1 stone. Dude.
Yeah. I already bought it, so the damage is done.
There
Oh,
you
well.
go.
It's
It's
only
a
$30.
It's a good game. And well, from my very limited, from watching people play it, I'm excited to dig into it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like Amnesia was one of the first
Yeah.
like it was like one of the first survival horror games that like popularized the idea like that you can only like hide. You can't do anything to stop the monsters. Is that true?
I believe that's true.
So. And that, or maybe like, I don't know when Slender Man came out.
Slenderman came out afterwards. I know that for a fact.
Okay, then yes, Amnesia came first, and then Outlast kind of overshadowed that for a while.
Yeah, piggybacked on that idea. We're gonna have to have another episode where we talk about just
Horror games.
Horror
Fuck yeah,
games.
dude.
It'd be really fun.
Fear.
Yeah, I'm down.
Fear. I've really enjoyed both of the. I enjoyed the Evil Within 2 a lot more than the first Evil Within.
I've not played those, dude. I need to, but I don't have money.
The first
Those
Evil
never
Within's
quite
okay.
spooked me, to be honest. But...
Yeah, the first Evil Within is just okay. Evil Within 2 though is a little bit more video gamey, so I had more fun playing Evil Within 2. I thought, but definitely would recommend because I think Evil Within 2 came out in like 3 years ago maybe.
Yeah, not too long ago.
But it's still like $60, I think.
Oh my fucking god. Well,
So-
so is Dark Souls 3. That came out in Vietnam and it's still $60.
It's true. It's true. Came out back in Nam. Definitely. Oh, okay. Well, speaking of the Final Fantasy VII remake
And Vietnam.
and Vietnam, today's topics, we're talking about games that we think games or series of games that we want either sequels or remasters or remakes or whatever. And yeah, basically it's kind of like a wish list of games or a list of games that we think shouldn't be remastered or shouldn't have a sequel or anything, just should be left alone in the state that they're in. So I want to first talk about have you guys played any remasters or remakes recently that you've really enjoyed, that you thought took the game and just made it way better and a more enjoyable experience, or at least capture a similar feeling that you had when you first played the game when it initially came out, if that makes sense?
You know, I don't know if this strictly qualifies, and I'm up for the real interpretation. Because I don't think maybe reboot or remaster is the right term, but maybe like reimagining.
Yeah.
But like, as someone who played a lot of the original Doom, like the OG, like you play it on your graphing calculator Doom,
Right.
and then also has played the new Dooms, like the
Mhm.
2016 Doom and Doom Eternal. I think that no, clearly you need an actual graphics card to play the new ones, and you need a toaster to play the old ones.
Right.
But it's like the idea in those games is the same, where it's cut out the bullshit and you run around and you shoot guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that strictly counts for what we're talking about, but I think it qualifies enough as a remaster, remake, reboot of the series.
Yeah,
Enough.
I would agree. I mean, definitely. Like, I don't know. I feel weird saying this, and we might get into this in a future episode, talking more specifically about Doom. But like, Doom Eternal has almost slightly ruined Doom 2016 for me.
I can't. No, it's just a better game. It takes everything that the first game did, and just improve the mechanics.
Yeah,
It's just better. It's just better.
Yeah,
in my
so
opinion.
Doom Eternal is or Doom 2016?
Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal is.
So as somebody who hasn't played the Doom, so the Doom 2016, that was a remake of the original Doom, right?
It was a reboot.
Not quite. Yeah,
Not
it was a
quite.
reboot of the series. Yeah,
It's a reboot of the series, but technically a new game and whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it was it was because like there had been like Doom games were, because it was like, I believe one of the original, Doom 64 was a big one, and I don't remember. I don't want to try to pull anything out of my ass and saying what the first Doom game came out on, but there had been a while, because there was like Doom 3 for the Xbox 360.
Which was a shit show. Which
Yeah.
was just a mess.
And at that point, there have been so many other first-person shooters that came out. Like Call of Duty was just starting to get huge at that point. And there were so many. It was like the first-person shooter was really becoming like the genre in video games, as one of the most recognizable genres as far as video games. So like, it really wasn't competitive at all, and then it just came back out of fucking nowhere. Like, no one was expecting them to be like, oh, remember Doom and how fucking cool that was back when you were a kid? Well, here it is again, but it's gonna be like a bajillion times better. And like, basically, I heard the Completionist put out a really cool video on it recently and about Doom, and he said Doom feels like they took like all the stuff about the original games that people love, where it was just pretty much running and gunning and shooting like fucking demons and monsters. And then they took all of the new modern mechanics of modern FPS games and all of the aesthetics and graphics and visuals, put it in a fucking blender, blended that shit together, and then just downed it like a protein shake and was like, I'm the Doomslayer, and just fucking shat on all these other games. And that's really what it feels like.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a pretty succinct summary. It's a shooter. I mean, I never thought that I would think that reloading was unnecessary in a game until I played Doom.
Yeah.
I don't know how I like that mechanic.
I mean, yeah, I get that. But it really just sort of don't worry about anything else. Just fucking shoot. It's just straightforward. You run around and you shoot things. You know what I mean?
But it's like, it's not like just left click to victory. It's like you have to really think about what you're doing as well. Like the game's not easy.
And think about which weapons you're using when, for sure.
Exactly. And movement. Oh my god, FPSs that don't have movement are ruined for me. I can't play them anymore.
Just play Overwatch, forehead.
Sam will play Overwatch when his ping isn't 3,000.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It'll take me probably about, I think, based on my download speeds, I can probably play in September.
Did you finish downloading Sea of Thieves?
No, I'm at 40%. I'm currently getting a whopping 50 kilobytes down per second.
Oh my god! You could probably like walk.
You might be able to
house
type up.
and,
You could probably type up the code faster.
Yeah.
I have literally asked and suggested of me getting a SSD mailed to somebody's house, having them download a ton of games and mail it to me, because that will be faster.
Yeah.
It would actually be much faster.
You could walk to my house and like borrow my internet for however long it takes to download Sea of Thieves, and then walk back to Idaho faster than I think it would for you to finish downloading that game.
I have downloaded 22 gigs over 3 days of continuous downloading.
Gosh.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Sam, what part of Idaho do you live in?
The North Panhandle, like the part really close to Canada.
What's a good search on Google Maps?
Priest Lake, Idaho. Don't go there. It's terrible. It's ugly. It's awful. Nobody should ever come. Stay away.
Stay away.
Wasn't planning on
I'm
it.
looking at Google. Yeah, never go there. Like, is that toxic sludge getting poured into the lake? Yeah, don't go
It's
there.
definitely not a beautiful mountainous location filled with
Nope. Not even
amazing
close.
recreational.
Is this one of these jokes, guys? Because like, I'm confused.
No, it's not a joke. Stay the fuck away.
Yep. Stay away, please.
You're not invited. Grab. Stop.
But like, I'm in my car.
I'm like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm on
Call
94
my mom.
going across Montana right now, dude. I'm like,
Well,
I'm close.
see you in 24 hours, I guess.
All right,
Right.
cool.
Just in case anyone's curious, if you were to walk from Priest Lake, Idaho to Minneapolis, Minnesota, it would take you 445 hours, which equates to 18 and a half days.
It would be faster. It would actually
It would be faster to walk
It
there,
would take you
download
like
and walk
a
back.
full month to walk there and back, right?
Yeah.
No.
Smell.
So Sam's at what, 22 gigs over 3 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might. It's pretty close.
That's fucking crazy. That's amazing. Okay. All right. What about Joe and Adam? Have either of you played a remake or a remaster of that, or a sequel? I guess since we're talking about those that you've really enjoyed.
So, like Sam, I don't know if my answer technically counts.
We're gonna count reboots. Let's just throw that out there. Reboots count.
So
But like they're fake, so like.
But they're fake though.
So my answer is gonna be classic WoW, classic World of Warcraft.
Oh.
And
Argue for it. Argue and say it's a remake or remaster, because it's not. But I want to.
it's neither. It's
and they just put it out.
so the only thing that, so like it's kind of hard to describe what it technically falls under, because it's not a remake, because it's pretty much a copy and paste of what vanilla WoW looked like back when version 1.12 was released. Even the graphics look exactly the same. The quests are the same. The grindiness is the same. They didn't update anything. They did update just a very small handful of quality of life things, and that was more so to have it integrate into like the Battle.net ecosystem that all of Blizzard games are a part of now. But outside of that, it's really no different than when I played it when I was in kindergarten or first grade way back when.
You played WoW in kindergarten?
When did it come out? Wait, let's see.
No, it was.
That's like being a crack baby.
When did WoW come out? Because that RuneScape came out in.
I don't remember the exact day of when.
02.
I don't know if it was kindergarten. I just remember it was when I lived in South Minneapolis, and I lived there until halfway through third grade. So it might have been more like first or second grade, but still.
It's saying the initial release date of World of Warcraft was November 23rd, 2004.
2004. So I would have been like in
RuneScape
second.
is older. Who would have
I would have
thought?
probably like in second or third grade at that point.
But you played
Yeah,
WoW
so
in
it's-
elementary school?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I
Wow.
played my very first MMO when I was in kindergarten. It was Star Wars Galaxies was the first
I
one
jumped in. I was kindergartners were saying what their favorite games were on the first day of school. I was like, "You ever play EVE Online, motherfuckers?"
Anyways, I digress. But yeah, so like WoW, it's not like it's pretty much just a straight up re-release. But what I love about so much is they didn't screw it up, which is like not exactly a hard thing to do, but they released it in its truest form, and it worked so well, and everyone got to go relive the nostalgia in a really effective way.
Mhm.
And like I didn't play it as much as I wish I would have, because I just had other games to play and life was just busy. But like Stanley, for crying out loud, he took a week off from work, and I'm pretty sure took a week off from his girlfriend too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he got I think he got server first level 60 warrior, and he was like the top level warrior for quite a long time
I
on
don't know
that
if that's
server.
something to be proud of or not.
I don't know if it is or isn't either.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game, it was just so it is grindy, but it's just so rewarding for everything that you work towards and everything. And nothing's handed to you on a silver platter. Like World of Warcraft today, you can grind 1 to 120 probably in 24 hours or less. But like in classic WoW, you can grind 1 to 10 in maybe 5 or 6 hours. Like it takes forever. If you accidentally pull 2 people, like you might accidentally die. You got to be careful about your resources. You got to be careful about spacing so you don't aggro other people. The game is so much more difficult, and therefore is much more rewarding, and was a great re-release experience for me.
You can't see me, but I'm about to slam my head into my desk.
Oh, Adam. I still remember, because like I was getting semi sort of, I'm not going to say back into WoW, I'll say I was getting into WoW right before WoW Classic came out, because Joe was sort of helping me figure out that game. And like I still remember we were planning on playing it like, I don't know, it was like 8 or 9 in the morning one day over the summer. Mm-hmm. And you texted me and was like, you should probably like just get up at like 6 and just see how long the queue is, because it might take a while.
Yeah, because the queue when that game first was released, there were so many people that wanted to play it. A lot of the I think almost all of the servers had a queue to get in, and some of the top servers like Faralina, which that's what a lot of the streamers were on, no joke, had anywhere between 4 to 8 hour queues to actually get in.
I think on like the day, like a couple days after the launch, I thought I saw one that was pushing like 10 to 16. It was unreal.
Yeah, like there were some streamers that I know of that literally, like, as they got off for the evening, they would log out, exit World of Warcraft, and then log back in so that they're already in the queue, and then hopefully when they wake up in the morning, they'll be at the front. And then they can jump right in and continue their stream.
Just make more servers, forehead.
Well, which they ended up doing, but like the tricky thing with that was, like, yeah, they could theoretically spin up another 20 servers, but what happens when the game dies down after 6 months? Now you've got 40 servers, and only a handful of them have more than 1,000 people on them at any given moment. And now you got to look at doing server merges, and it's just not good for the overall health of the game.
So let's see. Hold on. Let me. Okay, so RuneScape, old school RuneScape right now has about 235, give or take, worlds. So servers.
Wow, holy smokes.
And on average, I'd say they're probably around, if we average them all out, probably 500 on each. Like, the max is 2,000 per world.
Oh, okay.
But like, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know why I brought this up.
So I think that's one difference between WoW and RuneScape is RuneScape can the style of gameplay is probably can afford having smaller communities. Where World of Warcraft, you kind of do need a minimum. I'd say a minimum 1,000 players per server.
I remember my question was like, what do you think the difference is between like, WoW servers and RuneScape quote unquote servers?
Yeah, I've never played RuneScape, so I don't know the intricacies of that game, but I do know that you theoretically can play through World of Warcraft by yourself, but you're not going to get the full experience without having a large group of people. Like if you want to do PvP on Battlegrounds, if you want to do raids, if you actually want to have a viable economy on the auction house, because a lot of the best items have to be crafted. Well, someone's got to farm the materials for it. Someone's got to make some of the lesser materials, and all that gets.
So they don't have like an Iron Man mode?
No, they don't.
Would that be possible in World of Warcraft?
Would it be possible? I'm guessing probably yes. Now, do we have any capability like that right now? No.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, WoW Classic, that was a amazing re-release, and I got a lot of enjoyment out of that.
Nice.
Final answer.
There we go. Great. Way to go, dude. All right, Adam.
I'm gonna not go with old school RuneScape because that's just a reboot.
So old school RuneScape mobile though.
That's kind of a cherry on top. I mean, okay, yeah, both of them really dope. Obviously, I spend way more time on old school. It takes thousands and thousands of hours to grind out this account, but whatever. I'm actually gonna go with the remastered BioShock Duo of 1 and 2.
Ah, yes.
Yes. That's
that is the first actually true remaster mentioned
here.
Where it literally says in their name remastered.
They do look really pretty. I revisited
BioShock Remastered. Man, they're fucking beautiful. I during my semester off was when I got into them a bit, and I played like the entire trilogy back to back to back because I wasn't doing anything else, so I just pounded them out in a couple days. But I don't know, man. It's BioShock was kind of the first real like game that I gave a shit about the storyline. Like, because obviously I'd played games before then, like Call of Duty, and like yeah, I cared about the Gears storyline and all that shit. But like, I don't know. BioShock was just one that I was really in tune with, and I thought it was really fun, especially Infinite. Like,
yeah, definitely Infinite.
The ending to Infinite, or like just the entire plot of BioShock Infinite, I think was amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about it, but that's my remaster.
For sure. I mean, yeah.
Take.
If you haven't played any of the BioShock games, you're doing a disservice to yourself. That is, if you have the possibility to play the BioShock games and you haven't played them, you need to do it right now.
Confession, I have not played any of them.
Joe!
Log off, boot up the first BioShock, come back in a day.
Yes.
Oh my God.
My only defense is the reason I haven't is because when I tried to play, I think it was the first one when it came out, and I had to probably be like in 5th or 6th grade when that happened, and I tried playing through it, and it freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's some spooky stuff.
So I had a very hard time trying to play it, and since I didn't really enjoy it because I was spooked out, I never played through it, and I never had a desire to go back and give it another try.
BioShock Remastered, $20 on Steam. Let's go.
All right, bye.
All right,
really,
later. See you,
we
Joe.
really need to.
Thanks for the podcast, everyone.
Yeah,
It's been good.
No, but
been good.
Seriously, Joe, what you should do, because you were talking about streaming some single player campaign games, you should stream the BioShock trilogy. You really should.
Yeah, those would be fun. I would tune in
option.
for those.
I would definitely watch you stream those.
I would love to watch someone who's never played them play through them again.
Oh my god, there are so many moments where I'm like, I want to see how you react to that shit, bro.
It's so atmospheric. The plot is one of the best written plots in a single player game. It's definitely in the top 20 for me.
What I didn't know this is just a piece of trivia kind of thing, but I didn't know that Troy Baker voiced Booker DeWitt in BioShock Infinite.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I did not know
No
this.
shit.
Yeah. Fucking Joel from The Last of Us, the Joker in Arkham Origins. He was Booker DeWitt. Not that
that's awesome.
I mean, he did a good job, but most voice actors in terms of a first person shooter don't get much. You know what I mean? It's even though BioShock definitely is a story centric game, it's a lot of its story comes from the environment you're in, not necessarily.
Yeah, it's
not
audio log.
Exactly, and it's not in the cutscenes that you watch. It's all in what's around you, which is amazing that it can do that.
Yo,
what?
Yeah.
Guess who else he was?
Who?
Fucking Yamato and Pain in Shippuden.
That's
for
right.
the English dub.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, that's
Troy Baker, dude. Let's fucking go.
Dude, that shit has been Troy Baker.
All right.
Every time I see him, cause he was in Death Stranding recently, and
Is it Bleach?
he's been in so much shit, and it's oh, Troy Baker's in this game. Okay, cool.
good for him.
Yeah. God, what a talented guy.
He gets work. He gets work.
Yeah, I'm bummed to hear that he won't be on
Mass Effect 3, nice.
Yeah, I'm bummed to hear he won't be on Retro Replay anymore. That's a big oof, but I hear he's moving on to bigger and better things.
No wonder the fucking dude on the BioShock Infinite cover kind of looks like him.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Booker DeWitt kind of looks like Troy. That's funny.
Do you guys think that Troy Baker's a good-looking guy? Because I definitely do.
I'll have to look at him.
His ears are weird.
His ears are a little weird. Troy Baker, if there's any point that you listen to it, I apologize.
So
yeah,
Google
he's a good-looking guy.
Objectively, yes. I think so. I think objectively speaking, yes.
Yeah, I would say objectively. There are some photos where his hair is a little too long to my liking.
He's
outside of that,
your hair's getting a little long.
A little long, a little shorter. That'd be. There we go. That'd be good.
He's in God of War as well.
Oh Jesus!
Wow, he's got
Heroes
the
of
resume.
the Storm.
All right, I'm gonna move on because we could talk about Troy
yeah.
Baker for another podcast episode. Maybe we'll have him on one day.
Yeah, Troy.
Yeah, dude.
Troy, if you're listening,
you're not
We'd
doing
love to have
anything,
you.
obviously. The world's at a standstill.
Hit us up.
Hit us up. We'd love to have you in Discord, bro. It'd be sick. All right. For me, I think this is a remake that the recent Resident Evil 2 remake.
Ooh.
Just really, it was so good. And I'm gonna just say this, and I'm gonna admit it. I did not play Resident Evil 2 when it came out originally. But I did play the remake. I played it through both as Leon and as Claire, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was just because it's you watch people play the original Resident Evil 2, and you're like, okay, it's because of the visuals and and the graphics and everything, it's not that scary anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely scary when it came out, but it's not scary today. So
right,
that game really reminded me of what the ideas behind Resident Evil 2 were and how spooky it could actually be. It was so fucking terrifying at times, and I really enjoyed playing it. It felt like video gamey enough with just the right mix of grit that it felt like it was could have been a real story, And it blew me away. The Resident Evil 2 remake, that game it was on sale last month. It's probably going to be on sale again. It's only $40, I think, full price. So definitely pick it up. If you haven't, I really enjoyed that game. If you can stand the spookers, though, I would definitely.
Dude, I'm like contemplating buying it now. Fucking A, I just bought Soma or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like I said though, it's probably gonna be on the summer sale, and the summer sale, let's be honest, is not that far away. So you could wait it out just a little bit.
I need to wait until post tattoo appointment to like
for sure.
Merge.
That's like June, right? Sorry, I don't want to get into your personal life in the podcast.
Yeah, no, I don't give a fuck. June 30th. Yeah.
June 30th. Okay.
So hopefully quarantine will be over by then. But...
Right. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Fingers crossed. But yeah, Resident Evil 2 remake. Fucking check that shit out. Super good.
Big pog.
We're gonna get on to the second thing here. Have any of you ever played any remakes or remasters that you have not enjoyed? I'll go first. I actually, one of the first games I ever played was the original Contra for the NES. My dad had an NES in college, and then he obviously kept it, and so we played a lot of like the original Mario Brothers and Contra when I was a kid. And I loved playing Contra. I had so much fun with it, even though that game is hard as fuck, and it only gives you 4 lives for the entire game, unless you put in the Konami code, up, down, left, right, BA, start, I think it is.
Nice, dude.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Hopefully it's
I'm fact-checking.
Thank you. Appreciate that. But, like, that game was super fun, and all the power-ups you could get, and it was awesome. And then... I don't know if you guys knew this, but recently they I think last year, they put out a new Contra. I don't know if it was technically a remake or a remaster of the original, or if I think it's like a reboot. But that game is dog shit, dude. It felt like, remember, I don't know if you guys know in Black Ops 1, there was that zombies mode that was like a little bit more cartoony. Kind of, and it had like you shot and moved with the sticks, with the analog sticks. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember.
I remember what it was called, but it had a mode like that where one analog stick was moving and the other one was shooting, and you just run into power-ups and stuff like that. It felt like that, but it somehow had worse graphics and worse everything than that teeny tiny little game mode that was in Black Ops 1. And this game came out 8 years after the original Black Ops, or
Jesus
9. Black Ops came out in 2010 or 2011?
Oh, I thought it was before that, dude. I thought it was like
sounds about right.
09.
09, because Modern Warfare 2 came out when I was in 7th grade.
I thought Black Ops or Modern Warfare 2 was 07. Hold on.
Well, anyway, while we're fact checking. It felt worse than a game that came out several years prior, and it had like a 13-year-old's understanding of like swear words, you know, a lot of potty humor when the original Contra and like Super Contra.
No, that's just disappointing.
Yeah, it was just like Super Contra is super hard, but it still made me feel like, yes, this feels like a Contra game. This remake of it was just like, I don't know what the fuck this game is, dude. Like, I get Contra semi-ridiculous, but it wasn't to that point where it was like, you know, with like, you know how Borderlands has some really fucking crazy guns? And that's part of the charm of the Borderlands series. That's not part of the charm of like Contra, you know?
Yeah, for real.
So, I don't know. That's my answer. I just was really disappointed by that one. I don't know. Have either of you guys played any remakes or remasters that you didn't like?
One that I ended up not being really enamored with. So now given my opinion, disclaimer, I did not play the original, but I was not blown away by the remaster, and that is Warcraft 3 Reforged. So
I think that a lot of flack overall.
And it has too, and maybe that kind of rubbed off on me while I was playing it. But like, I never played any of the original Warcrafts. I never was really big into the RTS genre growing up. It wasn't until about a year and a half ago that I finally got into playing StarCraft 2, and once I got decently good at it, that's when I really got hooked on it, and I've really come to enjoy the RTS genre. And a lot of people who play StarCraft now all played the Warcrafts when they originally were released. And so when Warcraft 3 Reforged was announced, I remember going on Reddit and everyone being super jazzed about this release coming out. And so when it came out, I purchased it, and I started playing through some of the single player. Single player was good. I liked the story, was interesting. And then I tried jumping on the multiplayer, and it's a very different game compared to StarCraft, but it didn't play in a way that I enjoyed. It didn't tick any of the boxes and ultimately was not fulfilling. Maybe that's just how Warcraft plays in general, or maybe it was because Warcraft 3, the port to the remaster was not very good. But yeah, I ended up only playing it for maybe a week. Was really dissatisfied, and then I was actually able to get a refund on it, which was good.
Is that I'm just curious because I remember you saying that you asked for a refund for it. Have you ever asked for a refund from a PC download game before?
I think I have maybe once or twice before, but I couldn't tell you what games they were because I honestly don't remember. But I do. Warcraft 3 had so much flack against it that Blizzard pretty much just started doing blanket refunds. I think for up to 3 months. It was either 30 days or 3 months after purchase. If you did a refund, you would just instantly get it. They didn't care what the reason was.
Damn, that's crazy.
Damn. That's like an admission of we fucked up.
Yeah,
big time.
Your game sucks that bad that they're just like, even if you played it for like 100 hours, they're like, all right, fine. Here's your money back.
The one thing I'm personally curious about is how would I do if I went back and played the original Warcraft 3? Because a lot of the things that I wasn't blown away by, like, were more so mechanics of how the game was played, and it wasn't necessarily related to bugs or issues that a lot of people on Reddit were complaining about. So maybe that just wasn't a game for me in general, and has nothing to do with the fact that it was a remaster.
Okay, yeah, definitely. All right, good answer. Good answer.
Good answer.
Sam or Adam, have either of you?
For me, as someone who literally grew up from some of my earliest memories of playing Halo Combat Evolved, when they announced like the 10-year Combat Anniversary Edition, I was like super hyped. But I still go back and I play Halo Combat Evolved more frequently than I care to admit. But that version of Halo is not good. Like the Combat Anniversary. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like when they remade Halo 1?
Yep.
Yeah, and like they did it well with like the updated graphics and everything.
They did it with updated graphics, and the updated graphics somehow, through some miracle, look worse than the original graphics.
Yeah, and well, it's because they tried to make it look like the Halo 5 gritty realism, and it's
but it didn't work. Like I never have any idea what I'm looking at whenever I play it with those graphics, and not only that, but at least on the Xbox 360. I think it's the same on the Xbox One as well. Who knows on PC? But when you play with those graphics, the performance is just ass. It's absolutely terrible. So that's my first big one against the Combat Anniversary. But the other one is that when it came out on the Xbox 360, I was super excited because I was like, oh, I can jump in and, play me some Blood Gulch. I can play some of that good old-fashioned OG Halo 1 multiplayer. It came out with Reach's multiplayer.
Wow.
It didn't have the Halo Combat Evolved multiplayer. It had Halo Reach's multiplayer. And I love Halo Reach's multiplayer.
Don't at me.
I played a shit ton of Halo Reach's multiplayer. But if you're going to remake a game and not include literally half of the game,
right,
and instead just like do shit with Halo Reach's multiplayer, which I will reiterate, I still love. So that was really disappointing for me. And I love Halo Combat Evolved. I think it's like, I can always go back to it. It's still my favorite Halo campaign of them all. But it's just that remake. They did like infinitely better with the Halo 2 remake. The Halo 2 remake is like the exact opposite. It's like the perfect version of that game.
Is that on Steam,
in my opinion? Yeah, actually, it should be dropping on Steam. If you get the Master Chief Collection on Steam, I think Halo 2 should be coming in the next couple weeks.
Ooh.
I was in the insider beta, but don't at me.
You were in the insider beta.
Yeah, and just after I finished downloading it for a week, then they ended it, so fuck me.
Yeah, well, I got a Valorant key on the second day, so yeah.
Adam, I'm just curious, because how many hours do you think it took you to get the Valorant key? of watching streams?
Anywhere from 24 to 36, I think.
I think I technically watched about 20 in total.
Okay.
I just kind of had it up on the background, you know.
I somehow got the key when I wasn't watching someone. Like I literally was like laying in bed, and then I went into the Twitch app, which I wasn't watching anybody yet, and it said, "Oh, you have a key." I'm like, "What?"
The way they changed it is like you only need to watch 2 hours of somebody who's streaming Valorant, and then you're in the pool, like regardless.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I had a similar situation. I mean, I think I maybe watched like 12 hours worth of that stream, of Valorant streams, and then I was gone I didn't watch any streams for a few days, and then I get back home and I look at my email and like, the Valorant beta is yours, and I'm like, okay, cool, but how did I get it? Like,
I straight up, I thought it was a phishing scheme. I'm like, there's no way this is legit.
This is not real, dude.
It's like, okay, cool, the game's boring as fuck anyway.
We're gonna get into it. When we're definitely, Adam, I promise you, we will talk about esports in an episode, and I'm gonna be really curious because we're gonna have to we're definitely gonna have to bring up Valorant in that episode, whether we like it.
Dude, I should get my presentation together. Remember that niche presentation I was talking about?
Yeah,
12-page PowerPoint.
Yeah, here's what we're gonna have to do though. We're probably gonna have to live stream that episode and like do a Zoom call or something, and we'll record it in OBS, and then you can do a screen share, and we'll do that.
Let's do it, because I literally have that presentation ready because I worked on it instead of my other presentations for class.
There we go. Something to look forward to in a future episode. Get excited, boys. It's gonna be sick.
Heck yeah.
Adam, have you played any remasters or remakes recently that you're like, man, this fucking sucks?
I'll make it short. Not recently, but a while ago when I still had like my 3DS was Zelda OOT in 3D. Ocarina of Time. Right. I don't know. I think it was more of there wasn't any nostalgic factor there because yeah, I don't know. You play the shitty graphic, the 64-bit graphics for the memes and the nostalgia, you know? Mm-hmm. You don't play that shit unless you're ZFG and you're speed running and getting world records and shit. You're just kind of memeing around and remembering, you know, how much more you enjoyed life in your childhood than you do now. Yeah. And without those shitty graphics, you don't really get that same feeling. So
for sure,
I think I think I agree and disagree with your point. I think in terms of a remake, it did everything right. Like the way they changed the way the metal boots work in the water dungeon is like way better because you can just bind it to the C stick. And I think that it did a great job with the graphics. And I think everything that goes as a remake, totally it did all the remake stuff right. And and I think Ocarina of Time still stands up for the most part today. Ocarina, yeah.
Okay, so objectively speaking, it is a good remake. Objectively speaking.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes.
I would still 10 times out of 10 rather go back and play Link to the Past or Majora's Mask than Ocarina of Time.
Like the originals or the remakes?
The originals. I will not touch the Majora's Mask remake with a 10-foot pole.
Wait, hold on. You'd rather play Majora's Mask over OOT?
Yes. And Link to the Past.
No, you said the wrong thing, Sam. You said the wrong thing.
I stand by that statement.
Are dead to me.
I stand by that statement.
Majora's Mask is amazing, but comparatively, it is garbage. Literal trash.
Moving on.
I have that tattooed on my fucking body.
He has Majora's Mask is dog shit compared to Ocarina on his fucking back.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god. We'll get into this debate in another episode, I promise. I mean, we're already.
We need to do an episode of just Zelda games.
I'll get the popcorn ready.
Easy. We'll do an episode on just Zelda games. We have so many more points to talk about, and we're already at 55 minutes, and I want to get to these points. So
we're
not going to talk anymore about You two can argue and duke it out later, but
take it off podcast.
Okay. Now we're gonna get into the. I just think it's funny because the original point of this episode was: is there a game you wish had a sequel or a remaster? And we haven't even got to that.
We haven't got to it yet.
Here we go. We're gonna do that right now. We're getting into
meat of the episode.
I'm gonna start this one.
All right, go for it. Games that you wish had a sequel, remaster, or remake. Go at
them. Gabe Newell, I hope you're fucking listening. Give me Left 4 Dead 3. That is all I want in life is Left 4 Dead 3.
I think I can put F's in the chat for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not happening, and I'm sad and sad. So fuck you, Gabe N. I know it's not your fault, but I'm blaming it on you.
Yeah, definitely.
Give me Left 4 Dead 3.
Fun
That's
fact:
all
he's
I
a
got.
net worth of $3.5 billion.
Billion.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
billion.
I mean, he owns Steam.
shit.
Think about how much money. Steam is a privately traded company, and think about how it is pretty much dominates PC gaming. Think about how much money he makes off of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fucking crazy.
Fuck you, Gabe N. Give me Left 4 Dead 3.
You have
Hey,
$3
at least we
billion
still love you.
dollars,
Half-Life
bro.
game.
You have
At
three.
least we got another Half-Life game.
It wasn't even
Not
Nobody
good.
can play
Half-Life
it because
3.
we don't have $1,000 for VR headset, but
Right. It's like,
at least we got it, right?
I hate to keep bringing up Donkey, but like when Donkey talked about Half-Life, Alex, he was like, I don't even understand who gets to play this game. Like, why did you make it a VR exclusive?
That's exactly right. That's exactly correct. I'm so happy it exists. It really makes me want to, make a VR build computer. I will not be able to play that game anytime.
I have a quick take on that. I think it's good that they did the VR route because everyone keeps saying that VR is the future, but there up until this point, in my opinion, there hadn't been any really amazing big name games that are going to drive consumers to want to get VR games or get a VR.
Yeah, now they
rig.
just gotta make that shit cheaper.
Yeah.
So
now there's now there's going to be an actual demand because people want to play that game. They have to get a VR set. Some people might get it now.
Then they're just gonna bump up the price if they have more demand and not enough supply. That's the only thing I learned in my Econ 101 class.
It's like
I
the
also
Valve
look at it,
Index is
though. I also
already
look at it as-
$1,000 though. Like,
Yeah, I also look at it as though, just to finish out my thought real fast, is that
No.
developers,
No.
major developers, so people want to play Half-Life. People might actually go out and get VR headsets now. Developers might see that, oh my goodness, a large portion of our customer base finally has the equipment needed to play VR games. Maybe we should look into making VR versions of whatever game that is on our docket, or remake a game into VR that was already a huge success.
mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. I just think it's not just the price point because there's the price point of Valve Index is $1,000, but sure you can go cheaper. There's also the price point of you've got to build a PC, and all of us sitting here have fancy schmancy compooties that are much nicer than the common consumer. Plus, you also need the space to set up a VR headset.
Right. Because you need a whole room to use the Valve Index, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I think the truth is, as much as I would love VR to become a mainstream thing, I don't. And the guy who did what's his name, who does Zero Punctuation, when in his review of Half-Life Alyx, he was like, yeah, this is not going to become a mainstream thing, but fuck it. It doesn't have to be. We can still get good games on VR. And will that incentivize people to buy it? Sure. Is everyone going to buy it? No. Does that mean we're going to stop getting good games on VR or on normal platforms? No. So all the VR people can still have a heyday sitting on their Cloud 9 looking at us plebs without our VR headsets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. And I think that's fine. I think there's going to be something else that's going to come along that's going to be, maybe they'll hack into our brains and shit. There was an interview with Gabe Newell where he's like, yeah, I threw a ton of money into that, and apparently it's much easier than we think. And I was like, that's terrifying and exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
But
Come at me when we have like a Ready Player One-esque kind of thing.
Yeah.
You just stick the video game, heroin needle. You just mainline that shit, and
You
there you
shove
go.
that into the disc or whatever the fuck they call
Oh
it.
no, that's the Black Mirror stuff.
Put, and like, what do they call it? An altered carbon? The thing that holds your psyche, that's like in your spinal cord. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
your stack. They're gonna that's gonna be in your fucking
altered
neck.
Carbon. Fuck yeah.
And then they're gonna fucking just inject video games into your stack so you can live through them. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a good prog metal band name, Altered Carbon.
Yeah.
That would be good, dude.
It's a good show. I still haven't watched any of season 2.
It's a show?
Yeah, it's based off a book. It's on Netflix. Really crazy, like Blade Runner aesthetic cyberpunk kind of show. Looks really cool.
Oh, so it's not about science?
It's really good. I highly recommend it.
It's science fiction, my guy.
Highly recommend it.
It was really good. This first season, I really enjoyed it. I haven't.
Joel Kinnaman's a great actor.
Yeah, and they got Anthony Mackie for season 2, which blows my mind. That guy, since he's Captain America now, he probably is not cheap, dude.
He makes the big bucks.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie is probably not a cheap boy. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, back on topic.
We want Left 4 Dead 3. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Gabe.
Joe, your turn.
So when when this topic was proposed, there was 2 games that instantly popped into my head, and 2 games for 2 different reasons. One, the first game that I would love to see a sequel to is Guitar Hero. I know the franchise has been super
R.I.P.
I know it's been thoroughly developed. I know there's been a ton of games that have already come through, but that during this time of quarantine with the coronavirus and whatnot, I'm just looking for different ways to kill time. And freshman year of college, one of my good friends, Mike, had a PS3 that had Guitar Hero 3 and Guitar Hero Metallica on it. And we spent so many hours just hanging out in his dorm, killing time playing through those Guitar Hero games. And I would absolutely love to have that again. Like, I tried Guitar Hero Live when it came out, but the change to the guitar style where they had the 3 frets but 2 rows of it, like, I just did not like that. It didn't feel nearly as intuitive as the original 1 row of 5 buttons. If Guitar Hero came out with a new Guitar Hero going back to the original guitar, I think it would sell really well. And I would put so many hours into that game. So chill, so fun, so addictive.
I heard they made a Guitar Hero, but it has 22 frets and 6 buttons on each side.
What the
Yeah, it's called an actual guitar. I was gonna say through the something through the fire and flames on Expert.
Through the fire and flames.
So that was the first game that jumped into my mind. The second game that jumped into my mind, Star Fox from the Nintendo 64.
Oh, heck yeah.
They did remake that. There is a remake for that.
For the 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really like a full-fledged remake. So that game is one of the earliest memories I have as a child when it comes to playing games. I did not have an N64 growing up, but a couple of my cousins did. And I only saw these cousins like twice a year, Easter and Thanksgiving. But man, did I look forward to going to their house because they had an N64 and specifically they had Star Fox 64 on it. Mm-hmm. And we played that for hours. Maybe they just handed me a controller and I thought it was plugged in. I was that little. But I remember having an absolute blast. And that is a game that even today, at the ripe age of 24, when I still see that game, I still get excited to play it. I would absolutely love to see a remaster for it because it's a great game. The graphics are very dated, though. Put that even on just the Switch.
Yeah, that's the Nintendo 64 in a nutshell.
Yeah, even just putting that on the Switch with upgraded graphics, that's all you need. That's all I need. I don't need a new story. I don't need new mechanics. Just update the graphics, put it on the Switch. I will play that also for hours. I will switch off between Guitar Hero and Star Fox. So that was the game that my heart instantly went to on what needed to get remastered.
Definitely. I'm gonna go next because I think I know what Sam's gonna pick, but I'm gonna be curious to see if I'm right.
Oh, I'm curious what you think I'm gonna pick.
So all right, I'm gonna say I also have 2. The first one is I want a remaster of both of these games, not a remake. I want a remaster. First one I want a remaster of Super Mario Sunshine.
Yes. Yep.
Also, yes.
They did a remaster of Wind Waker, and it was so beautiful, so nice. They need to put that port that shit to Switch. What are you doing? You would make so much money if you just ported the Wind Wacker.
Wind Wacker.
If you
You're whacking that wind.
If you put Wind Waker HD on Switch, I don't understand.
Wind Waker's trash, dude.
You're trash.
I'm kidding. Wind Waker's pretty alright.
Wind Waker's lit, and I love Wind Waker.
Yeah, it's alright. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I love Wind Waker. Wind Waker.
Wind whacking.
I had a lot of fun whacking the winds in the Wind Waker.
The Legend of Zelda Weed Waker.
But anyway, we're not even talking about Zoldon. We're not even talking about Zoldon. We're talking about fucking
Zoldon.
We're talking about Super Mario Sunshine. Just all you have to do is you have to just fucking update the graphics to Super Mario Odyssey level. Like Odyssey is
just do that, you fucking forest.
Yeah, just listen to me, Nintendo. You don't understand. Just make me the president. I'll tell you what to do.
Reggie's gone.
Reggie's gone. Reggie's gone. Reggie's gone. Get rid of Bowser and put me in there, dude. I'll solve all your problems. Put out Smash 3 more times. You're set, dude. But yes, I really want a remaster of Super Mario Sunshine so
get in line, bud.
Dude.
Get in line.
I mean, yeah, everybody wants a remaster of Super Mario Sunshine, but
I don't.
Except Adam, but like
shut the fuck up.
I never really played it. I never played it. I don't know like
what you want a remaster so you can play it. That's what you want.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
It's like easily like I mean, obviously Odyssey is so beautiful and it's probably it might be my favorite 3D Mario game next to Super Mario Sunshine. It's so good. But like
I just love Super Mario 64 too much. It still takes that #1 spot for me.
I get that. Totally get that. I understand. But like there's something about the aesthetic of Super Mario Sunshine that's just like it makes me so happy, you know?
The Delfinos, I just want to give them all a hug.
Right, exactly. I just oh my god, Nintendo, do it. And I know that they're planning I think they're planning on re-releasing it for Switch. I don't think it's going to be a remaster per se, but I'm pretty sure they're going to for like
it's the big year of Mario. They're going all Mario. All things Mario.
It's the Mario year, and I think that I'm pretty sure they're like putting that in Galaxy 1 and 2 out on Switch. Don't quote me on that. Don't go up to your police officer and tell them that Graham said this because
you'll go to jail.
You'll go to the big jail.
Do not pass go.
Lying's illegal.
Lying is illegal, and you can't play Super Mario Sunshine in prison, from what I'm told. So, anyway,
not with that attitude.
Not with that attitude. But anyway, that's the one game. That's one of the games I really want. The other one's kind of a weird pick, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The game that I probably have at least, I would dare to say, pushing 200 to 300 hours on the PlayStation 2. SSX Tricky, the original SSX.
Oh my fucking god, yes. Oh my god, I love that game more than I love most people.
And like, if they remastered that game today, because I know they came out with an SSX for the Xbox 360 a few years ago, but I heard it wasn't good.
No.
And dude, you print so much money just. And like I bought SSX3 for my Xbox One last year because it was like $2, like the original Xbox, which is great, by the way. If you have like playing original Xbox games on the Xbox One, the load times are non-existent, dude. Like I think I was going from clicking play game on the Xbox One menu, and I was already going down the mountain like 30 seconds later. It's that fast. It's so great. But just, oh my God. Words. I think a remaster of SSX Tricky would sell so well. At least I think so. Because if you played an SSX game, and you know how good Tricky is, dude. And you can't deny how good Tricky is, man. That game was sick.
It's in my opinion clearly the best SSX game, and has its appeal has. My mom hates video games, hates them, and she still talks about how much she loves SSX Tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck's up with that?
Right. Plus, like, fucking every time you, like, punch a snowboarder in the face and they get knocked down, Run DMC was like, it's dangerous. I don't know the actual words, but you know what I'm talking about. Such a great fucking game.
Slight tangent. I used that song to educate my 6th grade students about rap, and it was put to good use.
Oh, man.
You are what we need in this our education system.
Run DMC. Where are you?
I have an honorary mention.
Okay. Well, honorary mention, and then I'm gonna guess what Sam's gonna say. Go for it.
Okay. It's quick because I don't give a shit. Overwatch doesn't need a remaster. They just need to fucking fix their game. That's it.
Yeah. I'm gonna refrain from commenting at this time because I don't play Overwatch anymore.
All right.
Yeah,
Sam,
I probably shouldn't.
Sam, is it okay if I guess what I?
Graham, take your guess. Take your guess.
I'm going to say that you want not a remaster, but a remake of Chrono Trigger.
Actually, it's funny you say that because that is one of the only games I think absolutely should not ever be remade.
Really? Not like Final Fantasy VII.
Get your fucking popcorn.
No.
I'm not arguing. I'm just curious because, like, I think that would be really interesting if they did do something like that. But go on.
Final Fantasy VII needed a remake because it looked like it was made out of 4 triangles and Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
Then triangle titties, dude.
Now, Chrono Trigger, and pretty much all of those games that came out like in the later SNES era, like Super Mario World is pretty much like one of the greatest examples of this. They still look great.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zelda: Link to the Past still looks amazing. Super Mario World still looks amazing. Chrono Trigger still looks great. The soundtrack still sounds great. The gameplay still plays great. I mean, sure, they made like a DS version. They added a couple of things.
Yeah, and a mobile version. I have it on my iPad. It's fine.
I have it on my phone. But that's just a port. And it's the exact same game.
Right, exactly. That's why it's fun. And
so, like, it doesn't... If they remade it, and I would kind of be like, please don't mess this up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it needs to get touched because it's one of the few games that has aged so gracefully and is still looks and plays just as good as it did back then.
For sure. Okay.
Game that I would say.
Yes.
That was a good guess though, Graham. That was a good guess, and I'm glad I got to say that because I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Where the fuck is Spelunky 2?
Oh my god.
Oof. I also would have guessed that.
Where's Spelunky 2? Derek, you tweeted today, April 30th, 2020. Yeah, Spelunky 2 is coming out later this year. I'm like,
you said it was coming out this year during the Iraq War, man. I don't believe you anymore, man.
The other thing I would say is, why is Spelunky not on the Switch yet?
Also, yes.
Also, big yes. That's like one of the, like, I mean, there aren't a lot of games. I mean, I'm going to say it. That game feels so good to play on the controller. It's one of the few games I know that I'm like, now that I'm becoming more of a PC-oriented gamer, that I'm like, this feels so good to play on a controller. And that's probably because it's mostly a platformer, but still. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I still think that Spelunky as a package is holistically, like, it's one of the few actual 10 out of 10 games that I think exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's the near perfect platformer.
Easy. I mean, I didn't pay full price for Spelunky. I think I got it for like $2.
I paid $3. It's the best $3 I've ever spent.
Yeah, but like I probably would have spent $20 on Spelunky.
Yeah, easily.
What a
plus
fucking game.
The Spelunky deathmatch is some of the most stupid fun I've ever had.
God, I think like Spelunky deathmatch and like Dragon Ball Fighters has been like two of the games in our house that like got people the most tilted. It's,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
or just even Spelunky in general, because like you try to play co-op and you throw your rope up and someone was jumping down that you didn't know was jumping down, you hit them with the rope, then they'd fall on the spikes because they were bouncing around, and they just get so mad at you.
I don't think I can match the adrenaline and the excitement that I got the first time I actually managed to beat King Yama and Hell level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like a Monday night, and Andrew and I just played Spelunky on a whim. We managed to beat it, so we got shithouse drunk as celebration. Like, what? Nothing else has driven me to celebrate that hard on a Monday night for something so inane. For 30 minutes of gameplay. For 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
So that's my statement. Where's Spelunky 2? It needs, and please be good. If Spelunky 2 doesn't live up to the first Spelunky, I will kill myself.
It's like, how could you fuck it up though? That's just like,
I'm confident. I think
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing.
I mean, he made Spelunky. Like,
Yeah. And then he made Spelunky Classic too, and I played that, and that was also great. So like, I think you can only keep going up.
Right. Fingers crossed that Spelunky 2 actually comes out sometime this year and is a good game.
Sometime during quarantine too, at that.
Right.
Preferably.
like tomorrow, but we'll see.
That'd be real great.
That'd be super
Fingers
great.
crossed.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys this question. We are at about an hour 15. We could just like keep talking, because I have one more category that I want to bring up, and
Okay.
I think it'd be interesting just to have a little bit of an extra long episode. What do you guys think?
I'll have to sneak out, but I'll try, because I've got to do some dinner with the family.
For sure.
I say let's shelf it for a different episode.
Okay, that sounds good. The only point I was going, it's a really quick thing. I'm just going to mention it. Like Sam, you were saying that you don't want Chrono Trigger to be touched. I don't want the original Mega Man X to be touched. That's my game that needs to stay how it is. Mega Man X is an amazing game. Don't you fucking dare touch
Don't
that.
you dare touch it.
That goddamn game. It's already perfect as it is. I know that Mega Man X has a bajillion sequels. I just leave it alone. It's perfect as is. Anyway, that's probably a good place to call it for tonight. What do you think, fellas?
I think we're good. I think we had some good discussions.
Yeah,
some great talks.
Most definitely.
Covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
And we didn't try to talk about Fortnite, which was a plus in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be like those. Have you guys seen that like the thumbnail of these like 4 like or 3 like 12-year-old boys sitting in a couch, and it's a YouTube video, and the title of the video is Fortnite the best game ever? Just 3 of the greatest minds of our generation, my friends. Just amazing. Well, all right. Well, we're going to call it an episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. If you want us to keep talking about this, because arguably we could bring up so many more games that we think should be remastered, or that we think should be left alone in general, or maybe just remade from the ground up, let us know in the comments below. And if you have,
make sure to smash that subscribe button.
Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell.
Ding dong.
Ding fucking dong. Make sure that you are here for any and all Hot Boys Anonymous updates. And I do actually have an important update right now. I am currently creating the Hot Boys Anonymous Twitch channel. Get excited, boyos. It's going to be
Watch
super
Graham
sick.
and I be terrible at Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yeah. Please hang out with us. It'll be fun. We're not good at that game, but it's fun anyway. Yeah. So that'll probably be up by the time this episode is up. If not, it'll be up shortly afterwards. And if it is up, I'll put the link to it in the description below, along with our other Hot Boys who stream on Twitch regularly. But yeah, I think with that, we'll call it an episode. Anything else you guys want to add before we call it?
Stay safe out there. And let us know what games you've been playing to help kill some of the time with all this newfound time.
Yeah, definitely put that shit down in the comments. Let us know what you've been fucking around with during quarantine, because I'm very curious. I think we're all pretty curious. Yeah. That was a really good thought, Joe. That was a really good thought indeed. All right.
Keep them around.
Sick.
All
right,
I've earned my spot in the next episode.
All right, have a good night, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye.